Hello, everyone, and welcome to God Speaks Today. This is Deborah Gaston, and for those of you who may not know who I am, though I wear many hats, I think the best thing that I can say about myself is that I am a child of God. I am a son, I am an image bearer, I am a worshiper, and part of my assignment, and I am a teacher, and part of my assignment, I believe, is to encourage other believers no matter where they are in their walk with the Lord, to encourage them to stay the course, to go deeper, to develop an even greater knowledge with the Lord, strengthen your relationship with Him, come to know who He truly is, and then come to know who He truly has called you to be, created you to be, and step fully into who you are in Him so that you can walk out purpose and destiny as He has always encouraged you. So, this is a time when I come to just give you a word of encouragement. Today, we're talking about remembering who you are, and it is so important that you understand who you truly are in the Lord. I have a little glitch here, excuse me. There we go. Something happening on LinkedIn. All right, there we go. I think we're everywhere now. Um, so today we're talking about just remembering who you are. Identity in this season is so important. You will never fully walk out purpose and destiny or the call on your life void of knowing who God has created you to be. And I want to share this because we recognize that we are living in a pivotal time. The time's crucial for the body to arise and to be the church that God always intended her to be. But that doesn't happen if the individual members of the body are not embracing who they are fully and stepping into the place where they are assigned as or how they're to function within the body. We need everyone in their place if we're going to see a shift and a change in our culture, in our nation, and around the world. I just have this sense that for many of you, who may be watching today. I've been there, so I understand it, that God is calling you into places that you don't necessarily feel qualified to step into, or you're already there and you're looking around and wondering, how did I get here? Why am I here? You're seeing people operate in areas that you don't necessarily feel that you're skilled or gifted to operate in, and you're questioning whether you're supposed to be there, what you're supposed to do. God has placed you there in this season because He has qualified you. And He wants you to remember who you are in Him and step fully and boldly into that place, knowing it is He who has placed you there. I'm going to share a personal experience with you, but before I do that, I want to just also remind you of at least three things that you need to remember about your identity. You have been created as an image bearer. Image bearer, created in the image and in the likeness of God. An image is a reflection. So you are here to reflect God in the earth. You're an image bearer. Remember who you are. You are a son. Ephesians tells us, in Ephesians 1, Paul tells us that we were predestined to the adoption as sons. And I don't have time to go through a whole lesson on the significance of sonship. But as a son, you have a position. You have been placed into a position. And in that place, in that position, you have been given authority. But you've also been given responsibility. Own who you are as a son. You're an image bearer. You are a son, and you are created as a worshiper. My pastor, John W. Stevenson, defines a worshiper as one who is intimately acquainted with and has a daily relationship with God exhibited through obedience. And if you notice in that definition, there's nothing that mentions dancing, singing, music, arts, right? Any of those things that we consider worship. All of those are expressions of worship or can be expressions of worship. But as a worshiper, you have an intimate relationship with God. It is a daily, constant, continual relationship. And the key component is that you are obedient. You are an image bearer. You are a son. You are a worshiper. And I want to focus on that worshiper today. I'm going to share a personal story with you that I hope will help you if you're struggling again with where you are and what God is calling you to do in this season of your life. Years ago, actually, 2005, I had the privilege of being a part of a recording that my pastor, again, John W. Stevenson, was working on, a project called Hear My Heart. And I sing background on most of the tracks, but I was also blessed and privileged to have a verse that I sang in one of his songs, Show Me Where You Are Today. That same year, 2005, the International Worship Institute named Show Me Where You Are as one of the top 10 worship songs for the year. And every year, the Institute would have this gathering in Dallas, people from all over the world, worship leaders, songwriters, musicians, dancers, all kinds of people, gifted people would descend on Dallas for the International Worship Institute. It was an incredible, incredible experience. And so that particular year, I went with my pastor and several others from our church. And since Show Me Where You Are was one of the songs for the year, at the closing program, the closing service for the Institute, we were going to be ministering that song. I was terrified. And I'll tell you why. Um, Here I am surrounded by musicians and singers and worship leaders and people who've done recordings and all of this and this massive choir of people who had incredible voices. And I knew that with everything in me, anybody, almost anybody in that choir could out sing me on anything in any way. Here I am leading this verse in this song before all of these people. So at the rehearsal, I was nervous and anxious, and I'm shaking. And if you know anything about singing, if you can't breathe, you just kind of like that just ruins it. So after the rehearsal, I'm thinking about all of this stuff, and I'm kind of focusing on me and thinking, well, somebody else needs to do this because I don't think I can do it. How did I get on this platform in front of all of these people when I know that there are so many other people who are better than I am? That was my thought. So I go back to my room and I'm about to call my pastor and tell him, you need to find somebody else to sing that part. I cannot do this. And then Holy Spirit began to speak to me. He began to speak to the worshiper in me. And as I share what he spoke to me, I really don't want you to hear it from the posture of singing, because remember, we just defined a worshiper as one who is intimately acquainted with and has a daily relationship with God exhibited through obedience. Nothing to do with singing. You are a worshiper, whether you are a singer, musician, dancer, or not. You are a worshiper if you have a daily, if you have intimately acquainted with and have a daily relationship with God, and you are obedient. That's the key. So I want you to hear these words from the heart of a worshiper, not a heart of a singer, because God was not talking to the singer in me. He was talking to the worshiper in me. And now I am speaking these words to you, to the worshiper in you, and encouraging you that whatever door is open, wherever God has positioning you in this season, whatever he is calling you to do in the season that you may feel you can't do because you don't feel gifted enough or qualified or that you don't know enough. He's not talking to the you that you think you are. He's talking to the you that he knows you are. And he's talking to the worshiper in you. These are the words of the Lord. My child, remember who you are. As you embark on the task at hand, remember who you are. Remember, in the midst of the throng, as well as in moments of solitude, you are created to be who I called you to be. You are a worshiper. You know the place of worship. You know the way of a worshiper. That is who you are always, worshiper. Do all from that place of worship. Do all from the heart of a worshiper. And pause and remember, a worshiper is one who is intimately acquainted with and has a daily relationship with God, exhibited through obedience. Your life is a song of worship. Your life is a song of worship. And you know that it is not to the people that you sing the anthem of your life. It is to me and me alone. The song of your life is not for them, though they may hear the song and be blessed by it, but the song is my song. For your life from which the song springs is my life. Always remember, the song is mine. Come into our secret chamber and sing your song of love to me. That is the song I love to hear. In the midst of the crowd, sing it to me. Wherever God, and I'm pausing to speak directly to you, wherever God is placing you, wherever He's calling you to step into in this season, the song of your life, sing the song of your life in that place. Sing it to Him. Do not look upon their faces, but look to me and sing. Do not compare yourself with others. Are there those among you that man considers to be better than you are? Of course. There will always be those that others esteem as better. But I don't look at things as better or worse, just different, unique, special, designed for a different and a very specific purpose. I created you as you are, with the song of your life that you have to accomplish a very specific goal, first in the heavenlies and then in the earth. Remember always, worshiper, you are my workmanship. You are my poem. You are my song. You see, my beloved, many sing to excite the crowds. Many sing to entertain the masses or to impress others. Many even sing to please themselves, to feed a need within them. But who sings to simply touch my heart in the deepest places? Now remember, we're not talking about singing, but we're talking about ministering the song of your life unto the Father. And again, many can do what they do, whether it's writing, whether it's, administration, whether it's in business, whatever that is, whatever their song happens to be, for a variety of reasons that are not necessarily for God. That's not you. That is not you. Who sings to simply touch my heart in the deepest places? Who sings and causes angels to flap their wings? Who sings and creates an atmosphere like that which surrounds my throne? Who sings to fill the earth with my glory? Whose song makes me smile? To whom have I given a voice of a different frequency, a heavenly frequency? God has given you touches Him in places that someone with a similar gift and a similar ability and a similar task or call does not necessarily touch. That is the true song of worship. Who will take that song and use it for no other reason than its intended purpose. My true worshiper will. I have given you what you have: your heart, your personality, your voice, each gift, each talent, your very life. All that you have in its uniqueness for my glory and my purpose. So as you yield it all to me as an instrument of worship, as you yield yourself to me as an instrument of worship, and remember, worship is not about singing, it's not about the song, it's not about dancing, it's not about the arts. It's your life in obedience to God. As you yield it all to me as an instrument of worship, as you yield your life to me as an instrument of worship, I use not just what you have, but all that you are in ways I cannot use those who appear to do it better. So, my child, as you go forth in this hour, remember always who you are in work, in play, in giving, in teaching, in writing, in singing, in dancing, in building business, whatever it is that God has called you to do. Remember who you are and know that your life is an anthem of praise to me always. Remember, worshiper, who you are. I hope that you have heard God speak to you through those words. It is time to fully embrace who God has created you to be, and not just who, but how He has wired you to express His love and His light and His life in the earth, and step fully into that place. The door that has opened for you in this season is for you to walk through. The platform that has been built, set for you to take in this season is for what you have, the way God gave it to you, the way He wants to express His life through you and no one else. You are qualified. You are His workmanship. You are His poem. You are His song. Step in boldly because you know who you are. Again, I hope you've heard God speak. We cannot cower. We cannot stand back. We cannot hesitate in this season. You must be in the rightful place that God has created, prepared for you in order to affect the kind of change that needs to be seen in our world. Remember who you are: image bearer, son of God, and worshiper. I will see you next time. If you have been blessed by this, I hope you'll just drop me an email or whatever platform that you're watching on. Just leave a comment to let me know that you are being blessed. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the little notification bell so that every time I go live or post a new video that you are notified. If you are watching on Facebook, please comment, like, share. And also, if you're watching on LinkedIn, please comment and post, share as well. Um, I'm kind of full right now. I am so overwhelmed at what God is doing in His body in this season. Don't sit back and miss the moment. Be who He created you to be so that you can do all that He has called you, anointed you, and commissioned you to do. It's time. It's time. And I'll see you next week for God Speaks Today.